You've seen the photos, turquoise lakes, razor-sharp mountains, and maybe an elk photobombing a selfie. That's Banff. It's Canada's supermodel, the park that makes others jealous. But Banff isn't just a pretty face, it's got a wild, hilarious, and sometimes bonkers history. Before the tour buses and Instagram, Banff was pure, untamed wilderness. The mountains were ancient storytellers, the rivers the lifeblood of an ecosystem running its own show for millennia. This place is so stunning it almost feels fake, like you'll turn a corner and see a film crew packing up the mountains. But it's real. The story of Banff is about progress, profit, and the occasional bear rummaging through town garbage. Canada looked at this incredible land and decided, let's not sell it, let's share it. So, let's rewind, before the hotels and souvenir shops, to when the loudest sound was a glacier cracking or a wolf howling. We'll peel back the layers from spiritual beginnings to its chaotic commercial present. Because Banff isn't just a destination, it's a journey through time. And trust me, the story is almost as spectacular as the view. Let's dive in. Long before Canada existed, Banff was home to the Stoney Nakoda, Ktunaxa, Tsuut'ina, and Blackfoot Confederacy. For thousands of years they lived, hunted, and held ceremonies here, no park pass required. The land was their pharmacy, grocery store, and church. They called the hot springs the Valley of the Water Spirits, believing the bubbling waters held healing powers. This wasn't a spa, it was sacred. They respected the land, living sustainably and passing down stories that were maps, survival guides, and history lessons. Their connection to Banff was deep, spiritual, and practical. Then newcomers arrived, seeing resources to extract and wilderness to tame. The railway and the park's creation changed everything, pushing Indigenous stories into the shadows. But those stories never disappeared, they're still here, waiting to be heard. It's 1883. Canada's building the Canadian Pacific Railway through the Rockies. Three workers, Frank McCabe and the McCardle brothers, weren't looking for gold but stumbled on something better: hot springs. The rotten egg smell led them to a cave on Sulphur Mountain where steam rose from mineral-rich water. For Indigenous peoples, this was sacred. For the railway workers, it was a business opportunity. They built a cabin and dreamed of a luxury spa, hoping to cash in. Soon, a land dispute erupted. Everyone wanted a piece of the action. The government, led by John A. Macdonald, saw the bigger picture. Instead of letting a few get rich, he decided the springs, and the land, should belong to everyone. This wasn't just about a smelly cave, it was about the future of the region. The government stepped in, ending the squabble with a bold move. The hot springs would be public, not private. That decision changed everything. It set the stage for something much bigger. Banff was about to become a national treasure. Prime Minister Macdonald saw the railway needed a reason for people to ride it. In 1885, the government set aside 26 square kilometers around the hot springs, calling it the Banff Hot Springs Reserve. This was the seed of Canada's national park system, a radical idea at the time. It wasn't just about protecting nature, it was a smart business move. The government and railway teamed up. The railway brought tourists, the park was the draw. They marketed Banff as the Canadian Alps, a wild paradise accessible by train. In 1887, the reserve expanded to 674 square kilometers and became Rocky Mountains Park, Canada's first national park. The idea: some places are so special they must be protected for everyone, forever. Marketing kicked into high gear. Roads, trails, paintings, and brochures sold the dream. Banff became a brand adventure, luxury, and awe-inspiring nature. And it worked. People came and never stopped. The park's creation was groundbreaking. It promised future generations a piece of wilderness. Banff was now on the map, and the world was watching. To attract wealthy tourists, you need more than tents, you need luxury. William Van Horn, president of the Canadian Pacific Railway, understood this. His motto: if we can't export the scenery, we'll import the tourists. Enter the Banff Springs Hotel, a castle in the wilderness, opening in 1888. It was more than a hotel, it was a destination, designed to rival the mountains themselves. Guests arrived by train, stepping into opulence: tea on the veranda, golf with mountain views, grand ballroom dances. The original wooden hotel burned down in 1926, but was rebuilt in stone by 1928. Bigger, grander, and now legendary. The hotel became an icon, shaping Banff's future as a world-class resort. It brought jobs, investment, and set the standard for luxury in the wild. The castle in the Rockies proved you could blend wilderness with elegance. Tourists flocked, money flowed, and Banff thrived. The hotel remains the crown jewel of the valley. Its silhouette is as famous as the mountains themselves. Living in Banff means sharing your neighborhood with grizzlies, elk, and a parade of wildlife. Bear-proof garbage bins are a must. Grizzlies are determined diners. Banff is one of only 2 Canadian towns entirely inside a national park, with strict need-to-reside rules to keep the community small and nature-protected. It's a balancing act, being a town and a conservation area. Local traditions add to the charm. Snow Days festival with giant snow sculptures, wacky costume bike races, and a post-hike beer culture. Tourists often ask, when do you turn on the blue water? Spoiler, it's natural. The lake's turquoise color comes from glacial rock flour reflecting sunlight. The mountains are the result of millions of years of geological drama. Banff's glaciers, like Athabasca, are world famous, and you can walk on them. It's a living science lesson wrapped in jaw-dropping beauty, and it's never boring. Today, Banff is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, drawing over 4 million visitors a year. People come for the skiing, hiking, and of course, that perfect Lake Louise photo. The town buzzes with restaurants, art, and shops, but the park faces the challenge of balancing tourism with conservation. Parks Canada manages permits, traffic, and wildlife crossings to protect the land. The goal: keep Banff wild, not just a playground. But the spirit of Banff endures. It still inspires awe. Whether you're scaling peaks or strolling the Bow River, the mountains put life in perspective. They remind you to breathe deeper, look closer, and appreciate nature's beauty. That feeling connects everyone: Indigenous peoples, railway workers, and today's tourists. Banff delivers on its promise: a real escape, a chance to reconnect with something genuine. Watch a grizzly from afar, paddle a turquoise lake, or just watch the sunset paint the peaks. Banff's story is still being written, and its future depends on us. It started as wilderness, became a wonder, and, if we care for it, will remain a treasure for generations.